Welcome to The Note. I'm Brian.
I'm Ben.
So Ben has been doing some research into Xbox One and particularly backwards compatibility. So why don't we let you take over, Ben, and tell us what you found, put on your reporter hat.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. I've kind of just been digging into what Xbox has been doing this year. And they've had a
great question.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good year in terms of like the features that they've brought to Xbox. I know that they've touched a lot on, Xbox One X enhanced features, backwards compatibility. Games Pass was really big this year, and even kind of the smaller like pot shots they've been taking with crossplay.
Yep.
I kind of just wanted to dive into it. So
let's dive.
Yeah, backwards compatibility on December 5th, Major Nelson reported via Twitter that in 2018, the Xbox team added over 100 new titles to backwards compatibility, bringing the full catalog to over 550 games.
Wow.
57 which are Xbox One X enhanced, which is awesome.
Yep.
I think the backwards compatibility team has been like killing it with all the things they've been doing.
Yes.
Like big titles this year include Crackdown, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Assassin's Creed 4, Dragon Age 2, Burnout Revenge, Modern Warfare 3, Brutal Legend, Dante's Inferno, and most notably this year was kind of the Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think backwards compatibility is really the area that they have killed it in, as far as the Xbox One this generation. And for people who might have missed some Xbox 360 games or didn't get to play them, great. It's a great entry into a huge back catalog.
You can pick up a One X or not a One X, you can pick up an Xbox One for pretty cheap nowadays. And if you want to throw $30 at, like, not even including Games Pass, just some older games, you can play a lot of those titles.
Yeah, and there's that rental program too, right?
Games Pass. There's all sorts of, they've really been enhancing that too.
Or I've been thinking of the thing where you can like rent the console, right? Like rent it and own it, and the Games Pass comes with it.
I
You know what I mean?
forgot about that too. Yeah, so like, they have a lot of accessibility.
Yeah.
They have a lot of accessibility, I feel, just for gamers to be able to jump in at a kind of cheaper price point.
Yep.
But I mean, on top of that, they've also just been like really cranking out these Xbox One X enhanced features for a lot of these games, even like not just backwards compatible ones, but like the newer games that are coming out. Let's enhance them so they can work with 4K textures, 60 FPS, HDR, and in some cases, all three of those things.
Is that to really sell the One X as? Because the way I look at it and the way it's been marketed is, this is the best machine to play multiplats on, or any game. This is the best console to play games on in terms of the way they look.
If you're like a really hardcore gamer and you want to see like the pretty games, like with everything enhanced and like your nice 4K monitor, like this is the one for you.
Right.
And I mean, most notably, they brought back the Final Fantasy Trilogy, which you kind of mentioned earlier. Jason Ronald revealed via Twitter, I think he's with the backwards compatibility team, that they were able to acquire and include the original cutscene assets at a much higher visual quality than what was on the 360.
That's cool.
Which is, that's awesome. It kind of puts the game somewhere between like, something that's backwards compatible and just is straight up a remaster.
Right.
And yeah, I'm really interested to see what Xbox is going to do with these kind of things going forward, or if they take an older game and they like, it's like a half remaster where they take some of these assets and crank them up even more to what they could have been.
And this kind of goes with Microsoft's whole ethos, it seems like, going forward, which is you buy some sort of machine, Xbox console from us, and then you get access to this sort of massive catalog. And we don't want you to lose that even as the generations progress.
Yeah, and that's kind of been a big topic more toward the end of this year of just preservation of games and how they're going to go about that moving forward. Whereas like with backwards compatibility, we've seen all of these games kind of revived, even like player bases for something like Modern Warfare 2 and other Call of Duty games, and it just revives their online play for everyone.
I really like that, because it does bum me out how games can be so ethereal. Like, they're huge for a few years, but then, 5, 10 years, 20 years later, they're kind of gone because you don't have anything to play.
Some great games are just like two ships passing in the night. You just completely can miss them.
Yeah, I mean, I think of games that were big, 10 years ago, like I can't play them anymore. Yeah. Or I could, but it would be like a huge hassle.
You mentioned earlier just kind of the accessibility for Xbox. That kind of brings us to Games Pass, which launched officially June 2017 of last year. But this year they finally kind of, brought it up even more for another level. 2018 in January, they announced that each first-party title would arrive in the catalog day and date of release. That includes Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Forza Horizon 4, Crackdown 3 was originally in there, but that got delayed to next year. And even if none of these games, I think, were quite the hit that Xbox was looking for, but it's still really cool that you can drop $9.99 on Games Pass per month and have access to those games day one. instead of having to purchase them.
It's kind of like they're building up, kind of like a Netflix for games. And I think, I think they're trying to signal, hey, this isn't just for old games that you might not want to play anymore. It's got new stuff in here too. So there's a value proposition there.
Yeah, and they've also like included indie titles. Ashen just came out. What was it? Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, a few others were also accessible on there. And just like they've also included Xbox Play Anywhere titles, where if you have a PC and you drop the money on a Games Pass, or say you want that kind of cross progression where you can play here and then go to your PC and play there, they had Gears of War 4, ReCore, Halo Wars 2, all included in that. And I think currently there are over 200 games available via the service, with games kind of rotating in and out each month. But that's still, like we mentioned, you pick up an Xbox right now and then you go get a month of Games Pass, you have over 200 games that you can play. Some of which are brand new that month.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just coming in or you're just picking up a console, maybe you're new to the generation, that's a pretty good selling point.
Yeah.
Just to jump right in.
And even then, if you have friends that don't have an Xbox, that kind of brings us to crossplay. And this year, Microsoft, I think, started taking some pot shots at PlayStation in general, and really working with Nintendo to bring a few more reasons for accessibility for the industry. And I think it's going to be a very important point moving forward, just to see what's going to happen between each of these three consoles. They've been working closely with Nintendo. We saw that kind of cheeky Minecraft trailer that dropped this year. We got to see the play together thing. Rocket League has been big with crossplay, and finally Fortnite was kind of the big contender that really forced PlayStation's hand to open up crossplay to other systems. And that's because of Microsoft and their talks with Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the future, and once it's it does seem like they're kind of forcing Sony's hand, so they won't look like the one holdout who's just being a dick for no reason.
Yeah, which kind of brings me to the point that I really want to dive into.
Okay.
Let's compare this to PlayStation and how they've done this year. PlayStation has been, kind of toying. They've always had PlayStation Now, which is kind of their combination service of Games Pass and backwards compatibility, but it doesn't have the same, I think, reach that backwards compatibility does, because these are things where even if you own the game, you still have to pay for them. With PlayStation Now, you can pay $19.99 a month, and you get access to a whole log of backwards compatible games, but you have to stream most of those games. I think there are like about 20 of the previous 370 backwards compatible games that they have that you can download and play from the console. All the rest you have to stream.
Oh, so see, I thought you could download anything now on PlayStation. That's interesting.
All PlayStation 4 games you can download and play.
But the older stuff you can't.
All of those have to be streamed from a server somewhere.
Sneaky.
And they definitely market that way, where it's like there's over 700 games with PlayStation Now, but like more than half of them you have to be online and be able to stream those games to play.
Yeah, so they intentionally probably leave that a little fuzzy.
Yeah. I mean, they've kind of been pressured with crossplay recently, and Fortnite was kind of the first, if not, I think it's the only game that has crossplay right now for PlayStation.
I think you're right.
I think that's correct.
Well,
Rocket League has crossplay with PC.
With PC, I'm talking
but
console
with other
only.
consoles, yeah.
But you are correct.
Yeah, so I think there's no question that Sony's weaker right now in terms of
features,
backwards compatibility, and features. They are much stronger when it comes to exclusives. I don't think there's any doubt that Xbox One has lagged behind, way behind in terms of exclusives. But it also feels like, to me, they are gearing up pretty hard for the next generation.
Yes.
All the studios they're acquiring, what they're doing here, all these features they're adding. So to me, this seems like Microsoft is going to come out hard next generation, which I think is a good thing.
And we can maybe see PlayStation getting a little too cocky, which is kind of the end of like PS2 era PlayStation, and seeing that pendulum swing back to Xbox. But it kind of just depends on, is Xbox going to get the right exclusives and come out with all these features, and PlayStation 5 just be this like one or exclusive exclusive title console, right?
Yeah.
Versus like everything that Xbox can bring, but we'll see.
I think it's good when Microsoft's strong. It's good when all three of them are. What do you guys think of the backwards compatibility and all the features that Microsoft introduced this year for the Xbox One? Let us know in the comments. And of course, for all your gaming news, keep it tuned right here for the Know. Or to the Know. You could keep it tuned to the Know as well.